Beginning. The ambush. My name is Sergeant Calder Hennox, decorated combat engineer of the Union Frontier Corps, survivor of 8 campaigns, and owner of one very inconvenient medal. Not because I didn't deserve it, I did, but because the medal held a secret I never knew about. Until a Zalthian woman slammed me into the dirt of Ganymede's red canyons and tried to tear my head off. But I'm getting ahead of myself. 3 weeks earlier, my squad was reassigned to Outpost Jericho 5, a nowhere station carved into a canyon wall on Ganymede's far side. Our job? Locate the source of strange power surges radiating through abandoned mining tunnels. Pretty routine. On day 5, my team descended past the old drilling platforms. The tunnels were silent except for the soft crunch of dust under our boots. I remember saying, "Feels like someone's breathing down the back of my neck." Corporal Dean shrugged. "You say that everywhere." But I wasn't wrong. One moment the tunnel ahead was empty. The next, a blur of silver and obsidian shot from a side passage. I didn't even have time to draw. The creature, no, the woman, slammed into me with impossible force, her limbs like coiled metal cables. My helmet cracked against the rock. Her voice poured out like liquid steel. "Where is it, human?" Before I could answer, she drove a knee into my ribs so hard my HUD flickered. Her eyes were strange, glowing amber with shifting concentric rings. A Zalthian, but not like any I had seen. This one wore a ceremonial combat mantle woven with shimmering plates. Symbols ran down her arms, clan runes, war markings, status stamps. High status. High danger. She grabbed my throat and hissed again. "Give me the relic." "What relic?" I choked. She roared, lifted me by my armor, and slammed me down again. That's when she saw it. The metal pin to my chest plate, a dull metallic badge shaped like a rising star, awarded after the siege of Renix 3. Her entire body froze. The rings in her eyes widened. Something like fear or reverence flashed across her face. She dropped to one knee and whispered, almost trembling, "You carry his mark." I lay wheezing on the ground, confused, bruised, and suddenly less eager to reach for my sidearm. This was the moment everything changed. Middle. The truth of the medal. Dean and the others aimed rifles at her head, but I raised a hand. "Stand down." The Zalthian woman lowered her gaze, hands open, shaking. Her whole demeanor had flipped in seconds. "I am Cathyra, Bladeborn of the 7th Conclave," she said. "I attacked you under command, but I submit myself to you now." I coughed. "Yeah, why?" She pointed to my medal. "Because that emblem is not human. It is Zalthian. Ancient. Sacred." I had no idea what she was talking about. "This thing." I held it up. "This is a commendation for bravery." She shook her head slowly. "No. It is the seal of Vorth Kai, the human who once stood alongside our greatest emperor." I blinked. A human warrior? Fighting with Zalthians. That is the legend. But I believed it myth until now. My squad exchanged confused glances. "Great," Dean muttered. "We're trapped underground with a cultist alien who thinks Hennox is her messiah." Cathyra bowed her head again. "Not messiah, but heir to his right, his successor. The bearer of the seal commands my loyalty." Again, I said, "What is this seal?" Cathyra gestured for me to sit. Surprisingly, she did too, cross-legged, posture rigid but respectful. 5 centuries ago, she began, Zalthians fought a brutal war with a species known as the Nullforge. Their weapons devoured energy, stars, shields, life. Nothing stopped them. I listened despite myself. One human, Vorth Kai, rallied our scattered clans. He carried a symbol of unity forged from captured Nullforge alloy. With it, he convinced us to fight as one. And this symbol looks like my medal? It is your medal, she said. The seal vanished after the last battle. Your people must have found it without understanding.
Great.
Leave it to humans to turn a legendary alien artifact into a participation trophy. But the way she looked at it and at me was unsettling. Why did you attack us? I finally asked. My conclave detected the seal's energy. They believed an enemy faction carried it. My orders were to retrieve it at all costs. She paused. I believed you were a thief. I rolled my eyes. So your first approach was, hello, please hand it over? I chose the most efficient option, she replied flatly. Dean snorted. Efficient? You nearly broke his spine. But Kathyra kept her gaze fixed on me. You bear the seal. That makes you leader. I am sworn to obey. This situation was spiraling faster than a reactor leak. Okay, I said slowly. Then you're going to tell me why those power surges started. Kathyra stiffened. The Nullforge have awakened. My blood turned to ice. The descent. Kathyra led us deeper through forgotten tunnels, moving with fluid, almost predatory grace. She explained that her people had traced Nullforge signals to Ganymede weeks ago, but they never expected humans to be involved, or that the seal would reappear. The deeper we went, the more the walls vibrated. The air tasted metallic. A low hum echoed through the stone. What is that? I whispered. Kathyra replied darkly, a Nullforge heart, a machine mind. If it fully awakens, it will call others. That was bad. Very bad. We reached a cavern lit by faint blue pulses. At its center stood a massive crystalline structure, like a black diamond threaded with lightning. Even the air trembled around it. That thing was under our outpost the whole time? Dean muttered. Kathyra knelt again as I approached it. The seal resonates with the heart. Only you can shut it down. I hesitated. I'm an engineer, not a wizard. The seal obeys lineage of spirit, not blood. Great. Very comforting. But as I stepped closer, the metal warmed, then glowed faintly. The Nullforge heart pulsed in response. My HUD spiked with energy readings. Calder, Dean said nervously. That thing is waking up fast. The cavern shook. Cracks splintered across the floor. Kathyra grabbed my wrist. Use the seal.
How?
You feel it. Reach for it. Command it. I didn't know what that meant, but I tried. The metal vibrated like a living thing. A deep thrum echoed in my veins. Suddenly, in the darkness behind my eyes, I felt instructions. A pattern. A rhythm. Like the machine was whispering. I raised the metal. Light exploded outward. The cavern roared. Energy spiraled from the seal into the heart. The heart convulsed, shrinking inward, collapsing on itself like a dying star. Then, a shockwave hurled me backward. Everything went black. The aftermath and the choice. I woke up coughing dust, ears ringing. The heart was gone, reduced to a crater of steaming obsidian. Kathyra knelt beside me, expression strangely soft. You did it, she whispered. My squad was battered but alive. She helped me sit up. The seal answers to you. You are rightful bearer. Listen, I said, rubbing my temples. I'm a soldier, not some ancient hero. Neither was Vorth Kai before destiny chose him. I winced. Please don't say destiny. Her expression remained serious. Your people have forgotten the threat of the Nullforge. Mine have grown weak in division. But with the seal, you could unite us again. Dean stepped forward before I could answer. Hold on. You want to drag our sergeant into some ancient alien prophecy. It is not prophecy, Cathyra replied. It is necessity. The Null Forge are stirring across the outer moons. The heart you destroyed was only one node. That hit me hard. How many nodes? I asked.
Scores.
Possibly hundreds. Silence fell. The weight of the metal on my chest felt suddenly heavier. Come with me, Cathyra said gently, to the 7th conclave. They will kneel before the seal's bearer. With your command, we can prepare for war. I shook my head. I'm no leader. Yes, she said, but you're human, and humans lead best when they reject the idea. I didn't know whether to feel insulted or inspired, but before I could respond, a tremor rocked the cavern again. Sparks rained from a cracked ceiling. The tunnels are collapsing, Dean shouted. We sprinted, dodging falling debris. At one point, the ceiling caved in behind us, sealing off the cavern entirely. We barely made it into the upper tunnels before they sealed shut. Ganymede rumbled beneath our feet. Null Forge activity. And I had destroyed only one heart, ending the kneeling of a warrior. When we reached the outpost, Command sent a retrieval craft. The moment we boarded, Cathyra remained close, never in a threatening way, but watchful, protective. On the flight back to the orbital command station, she stood before me and lowered herself onto both knees, head bowed. By ancient oath, she said, voice resonant with ritual weight, I, Cathyra of the 7th conclave, pledge my blade, my breath, and my life to the bearer of the seal. The cabin went dead silent. Even the pilot turned around. I swallowed. Cathyra, you don't need to do that. Her head lifted, eyes burning bright. I do. You saved not only your world, but mine. The conclave will deny the threat until they feel it themselves, unless someone stands who carries authority older than their pride. You think they'll listen to me? They must. You carry the proof on your chest. I glanced at the medal. When I first earned it, it was just another thing to pin on a uniform. But now it was a key to something much larger. Humanity had never faced the Null Forge. Zelthians barely survived last time. And the machine heart I destroyed was only one among many. Earth's High Command would want to study the seal, maybe confiscate it, maybe hide it, maybe ignore the threat entirely. But Cathyra was right. The metal wasn't human. The war that forged it wasn't human. And the threat returning wasn't exclusively human either. If someone didn't act soon, countless worlds could burn. I exhaled slowly. Stand up, Cathyra. She rose, tall and fierce, awaiting my command. When we land, you'll stay by my side. I'll speak to the generals. They need to hear what you know. And if they refuse? I touch the metal. It pulsed softly, as if aware. Then we'll make them listen. A slow smile curved across her lips, sharp, proud, dangerous. You sound like Fourth Kai. Let's hope I can live up to him. As the ship approached Earth orbit, I stared at the blue planet below us. Peaceful, unaware, unprepared. The seal warmed against my chest. A warning, or a promise. Cathyra stepped closer, her voice quiet but steady. The conclave will gather when they learn the seal lives again. All our fractured clans will come. Some will challenge. Some will kneel. But they will come. And the Null Forge? They will come too. I nodded slowly. Then we'd better be ready. The ship descended toward the lights of Earth, and for the first time, I felt the weight of destiny settle on my shoulders. Heavy, unwanted, but necessary. Cathyra stood at my side, had bowed not out of weakness, but loyalty. She had attacked me once.
But now?
A warrior of an alien empire kneeled for a human soldier because of a single medal that might just save the galaxy. And our fight was only beginning.